In this video, I'm going to be walking you through some of the things I think you need to know about Wilder World NFTs. I'm going to be discussing some of the cool rewards that they have to offer just by holding your NFT, as well as purchasing your very first NFT from the project. Now, something I'd like you to do is stick around to the end because I have a cool announcement from the project that could be around what would be the best NFT to pick up if you're looking for your very first one. So stick around to find out what that is. Before I head on over to the screens, I did want to mention there's a lot of documentation for this. So I'm going to try and leave some of the articles down below and make it a little bit easier for you. This project has so much information out there, so it's hard to sometimes filter it through. But if you do have questions, the Discord for this project is really awesome. The people so far that I've seen have been really friendly and more forthcoming with their information. So if you are having any questions about getting your first NFT or how the whole project and the NFTs work, you should definitely head on over there. But if you do want questions from me, I would love to hear them if you leave those comments down below because I'm really active in my community. I'd love to hear what you think about the projects, if you have a specific NFT in mind, and whether or not you're gonna take up on that announcement at the end, so stick around for that. But without further ado, let's head over to the screen and start walking through the NFT buying guide. All right guys, now I'm not gonna lie, there is actually quite a lot when it comes to these NFTs, so bear with me because we're gonna try and walk through this as fast as we can and give you as much as you need to know so you can go out there and actually make your decision to purchase your own NFT. Now when it comes to the NFTs, the rewards behind holding an NFT is really gonna be the major incentive for getting into these NFTs on this project. They're not just gonna be another profile picture, and this is something that they have made a very big claim towards. 100% of the rewards gained through the entire project will be given back to NFT creators and holders of Wilder token or NFTs. And you can stake both Wilder token and your NFTs for DAO governance or rewards in the form of, I believe, either airdrops, claims, as well as monetary incentive through more Wilder tokens. So there is going to be a decent amount of benefit to holding an NFT. It's not just, again, going to be another profile picture. But before we go take a look at the rewards and a little bit more information on that, let's just discuss some of the industries. Now, they have broken each one of the categories that each NFT will be into an industry. And as you can see, we have a list of them down here on the main page. We have the wheels, which is obviously going to be our cars. We have kicks, which are our shoes. And all of these, to mention, have attributes that are going to be unique to each NFT. So the utility within game will also exist as well, which is a nice benefit. You're going to have cribs, which is basically like property inside of the space. Land, which hasn't been released yet, but I imagine there's going to be some decent early on land. We're going to have guilds. We currently have some crafts available, and beasts. Now, a number of these, not all of them, but a number of them are part of what are called the Genesis event, which means they're the first of their category. And I assume there's going to be a Genesis event for every one of the industries or categories of NFTs, and something you should be noting about, and let's talk about that here. So when it comes to, as they have put it, the inception of the Web3's most extensive NFT rewards program, and I'm not gonna lie, as what they've put, it does seem like it's going to be a decent amount of rewards. So the industry rewards will be siloed through each individual NFT industry, again, each category. So you can stake and say, I want rewards from each stake of where I am. So if you have a wheel, you have one of the cars, you will be getting rewards from that industry, purchases and there'll be some form of royalties related to that, or there'll be some sort of drops or claims related to that. But you need to be in control of a Genesis NFT if you want to get the top version of those rewards. So it seems as though they're going to have NFTs going into the future that will benefit people, but the Genesis NFTs, which are currently the ones listed and the ones we're talking about here today, early on before this project, potentially moonshots, just putting it out there, are going to be the Genesis NFTs that are listed down here. So they are going to have specific access to mint lists, claims, airdrops, raffles, all subsequent collections within that same industry. So you will get all of these things if you, for example, have a wheels, anything that's related to wheels in that industry, you will continue to get benefits or rewards specific to that one. Now, if you were to have the airs, the kicks, it would probably be more related to clothing. If you have the crafts, it might be related to ships. If you're to have the property, right, it would be different assets on property. So that's the way I read into it, and that seems like a pretty cool system if I'm gonna be honest here. The rewards will be given out anytime a new industry is launched. So again, within wheels, one of the ones that's coming up next is going to be the MotoGP, which will be bicycles. They're in the same industry. So this is going to be part of the rewards you could benefit from being a Genesis holder as a NFT on the wheels. Another cool little snippet that they snuck into this article about the benefits you can get from holding some of these Genesis assets will be live parties, events, and potentially even in Metaverse sort of perks that'll come down the road or to be announced. So this is really looking good for the Genesis series of NFTs out there. You will be rewarded based on your holding of what type of industry you hold and the length of time in which you hold it. And some of these NFTs can be pretty awesome. Something that is also a little bit of a mystery right now, but is something to look forward to, is going to be this mention of the Trinity program, or something to do with the Trinity that kind of has to do with the entire governance and really being put, I think, into an extra echelon, perhaps even the elite of the program. Basically going to be considered kind of the, not founders as much as it's going to be the serious elite when it comes to the metaverse in the future. So it seems to be something like holding a number of these NFTs would allow you to complete the Trinity. Obviously, I'm going to say that it's going to be 3. And so if you were to complete a Trinity, you would have a lot of weight in the metaverse or in this project. It looks like that could be one of the serious benefits coming out of this, and something that would be a little bit of money to put out of pocket to get involved with, but you would really be part of the ruling class, I imagine, when it comes to this project. Here's a list of the Genesis class assets that are available as they are right now. The only one here that actually has a little bit more, and you can see Air Wilder Season 0. There's a Season 1 and a Season 2 available right now. But other than that, this is pretty much all the NFTs they have available. And honestly, I would probably say that these are the more common ones you're going to come across on OpenSea, and most with the utility in game to probably stick with. So this is something to really be considering when it comes to purchasing these, that you want to stick with the NFTs in the Genesis asset class, because the rewards are going to be significantly bigger for those in that class than they would be for any subsequent release or season down the road. So something to keep in mind out if you're out there looking at this video down the road and you're thinking about getting in, you may want to try and get your hands on one of the Genesis NFTs out there. So honestly, there's a lot more information out there available about the rewards and how they could be expanded into the future. I really just wanted to give you a taste to really pique your interest, to see if this is something you want to get involved with, because I think there could be something special here potentially. But I think the next thing we need to talk about is how do you actually go ahead and get one of these Genesis asset classes, or actually just purchase an NFT somewhere in the future. And to that, I would point to their actual own NFT buyer's guide, which is available on their zine article section of their website. Again, go over to the Discord. The guys there are going to be pretty helpful to help you there. This encompasses a pretty decent walkthrough on where you can go about getting it, but I'm going to walk you through it with some of the questions I came up with and see if I can answer some of those before you have any over on their own Discord. So the first place you're probably going to want to get at the source is the minting, is going to be the first place you're going to probably want to get your NFTs. It's probably going to be the cheapest, and it's going to have the most benefit. This is where we talked about one of those first rewards. Now, in order to get on some sort of raffle list or on some sort of early access list to mints, you're going to either need to hold Wild token or some of those Wilder NFTs. And I would imagine that the Genesis Wild holders are going to have a benefit maybe even on top of that. And as currently there only are Genesis events available, then you might be part of just the early releases on any of this stuff. So it might behoove you, if you're interested in getting into this project, to get these. Now, I did read somewhere in an article, you only need to have one Wilder token, which currently is worth, pennies on the dollar. It might be worth it just to be part of those lists and those notifications. Now, I haven't confirmed that, and I did see it in a completely other article, but it is something to consider down the road. But this is really going to be the best way to go about getting these assets in the future, is going to be paying attention and getting a notification through the Discord. So talk with the community over there, but there will be an announcement page that will let you know when these are coming up before the general public gets it. Here's a list of the assets. Here's the kicks that we talked about, some of the Genesis kicks. Here's one of our wheels editions right here. Those are pretty fire looking. And then we've got our crafts. They're really going with this really cool modern look, cyberpunk sort of style. Then we have our cribs, which is going to be property inside of the metaverse. And then this was the first of the pets edition, which is the wolves, which has really taken off because they had a whole avatar profile picture section of it. And you're going to see a lot of these wolves over on the Discord, because it seems like a lot of community members have picked up and been a part of some sort of avatar program where they got to get involved in a lot of those. So you'll see a lot of these guys coming down the road. But those really are a good selection of the Genesis assets that you're probably going to want to be taking a look at. Now, if you aren't able to purchase those right off the bat, or you're in the position where you're looking to purchase one, so say you didn't get one minted already and maybe you're not interested in the token but you just want to buy one from the source, you do have your secondary sale locations to purchase them. So you have a couple of locations, and I'll walk you through. We're going to do a walkthrough here of going to their marketplace, which would be the preferential place to get it from. You're probably going to get it at a discount. Hopefully there's going to be some extra benefit to you, and we're going to take you over to the market in a second, but that would be the first place to go over there and purchase all of your NFTs. And they're gonna have their own marketplace for staking and DAO, which we can cover here in a second. The other places I really wanted to quickly cover would be the standards. Like you're looking at Rarible or OpenSea are gonna be pretty straightforward places where you can also get a look at some of these assets on the secondary market. So pretty straightforward, something we're kind of used to at this point. Thought I'd take you over to the Wilder World. Again, we can look secondary market. You can see the floor price here is not too bad. I mean, it's still, you know, the asset class as a whole on cryptos has gone down, so that's not as much as it used to be, but it's still quite a bit. But I wanted to point you over to the activity so we could take a look at how they've done as a performance over time. And actually you can see a slight little tick up. You can see the volume has been increasing, and you can see the price has also been increasing. So we're starting to see a little bit more interest garnished here. I think they're starting to ramp up the production of these. So this is kind of telling that, you know, a long hold on this would have probably paid off. Even though there's been some fluctuations, it's definitely got some benefits to it. So I'm actually going to show you where you get to their marketplace. So again, the main landing page where we were taking a look at all the different industries here, we can actually find on the top right hand corner up here the Metaverse market. And this is really going to probably be the best place to pick up an NFT other than Rarible or say OpenSea, where we could get them on the secondary market. I think there's going to be a markup there. You may want to know about this. So this is really going to probably be the next best place after minting them yourself in order to get into that whole window. So let me just give you an overview of this. Obviously, you have your connect button up here, which we'll go through in a second. You have your NFTs, you have your DAOs, which is where you can stake your NFTs. So there will be staking options. And I did mention the DAO briefly earlier on in this video. The DAO will allow you to have some sort of voting ability on top of these industries. So remember, each one of these is an industry. And basically, you will have your NFT, which you will stake inside of here. And this will give you a vote. I assume the more NFTs you have per industry in here, the more votes you actually get. So they do have a DAO staking for your NFTs, which is interesting. And they do mention somewhere in their white paper or one of these articles that they're hoping that by staking them and getting more of a actual governance ability and actually having some ruling ability, that it will remove the liquidity of those and make them more rare, therefore the value increasing. So staking them kind of is in your benefit if you want to increase the value of your NFTs without doing much. So that's something to think about. They also have an option here to stake, which is going to be the staking for your tokens, right? So you're going to have your Wilder token or your Wild token, which is a place that you can just stake if you have native Wild token. But then they also have what is called the Farm Wild, which is essentially a liquidity pool token from, I believe it's Uniswap. So you can bring those liquidity tokens over here and you can get them. And you can see those APRs right now are pretty sweet. They're not too bad if you are holding any of these. As I mentioned, I believe you only really need one Wild token to be a part of the entire announcement list or any of the raffles that come down the line as far as being on the first to know about those mints and NFT drops. So keep that in mind. That might be something to think about. All right, let's look at the NFTs. And as you can see, we have a number of the ones available here: Beasts, Crafts, Cribs, Wheels, Concepts, Wow, Kicks, and Guild. I'm gonna take a look at the Wheels because that's actually what I'm into. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect my MetaMask. So now that I have connected my wallet, I can actually go and decide on which Genesis event I wanna be a part of, go taking out the Wheels. I believe that will have a list of other seasons down the road, and I can really just pick on the car I want, go ahead and browse, and here I'm able to place a bid on it. So this would be, again, the preference place to get ahead, because this is a lot cheaper. If you actually could get your bid accepted at this rate, would be a much better way to go about getting your NFT from here. This, to be noted, is only accepted in Wild token. So in order to purchase on here, you do need to purchase through Wild and hold Wild. This is the only caveat with this marketplace. Everything on here is going to be purchased in Wild. If you want to purchase something in ETH perhaps and use your MetaMask with your other tokens, then you are going to have to go to those other secondary markets like Rarible and OpenSea. So I also wanted to mention that there is actually one other place that you could probably purchase some NFTs if you want to do it outside of those more traditional methods, and that is actually through the Discord. They actually have a section that will be allocated for purchasing from peer-to-peer, where a number of members of the Discord have actually placed their NFTs for sale with maybe some descriptions or what their lowest bid they're looking to offer is. So there could be some sort of barter section there to go about getting your very first NFT if you're looking potentially for a deal, or maybe want to plead some case with doing a trade of some other asset that may benefit them. So that barter and trade system is potentially there as an option over on the Discord. So I wanted to put that out there as your final option for purchasing your NFT. Now that we've purchased our NFTs, what's going to be the thing to do with them is, well, you're probably going to want to stake them until the game comes out. So heading on over to the marketplace and putting them in that DAO connection, connect your wallet, stake your your NFTs there, allowing you to have some governance votes for potentials down the road is probably going to be one of the best things to do while you sit and wait for those rewards to start to kick in, which brings me to basically the end of the video, where I wanted to give you a little bit of an announcement from the entire team when it comes to their very first reward that they're looking to push out for the wheels holders. So in order to take advantage of this announcement and for this very first sort of benefit to a Genesis wheels holder, you can actually pick up a one MotoGP, which will be equivalent of basically a motorcycle version in the same industry. You will get one for free with the Ethereum paid for if you are holding a Genesis Wheels NFT at the time of the launch of MotoGP. Now, as of making this video, that hasn't been determined when the date is, so this might be the time to jump in ahead and start to browse and see if there are any of those Wheels NFTs you are interested in, and if you think any of these NFT rewards are going to be of benefit in the future, because you can essentially just double your NFT like that. Even if you purchase two, you would get two extra MotoGPs. Who knows what the value of them will be in the future? And if you're making a speculative investment, it may be worth it. If not, it may be just extra to put into the DAO and benefit from the launch of the actual game down the road. It may give you a little bit more governance token when it comes to making decisions in the space. So that was the announcement I really wanted to make. Hopefully, if you are interested in purchasing the program, you go check it out. It's available in the Discord in the announcements. I'll leave a link down below for the Discord so you can jump on over there if you want to query them. Again, the members over there are more than happy to help you through how to get involved with that and what to wait. But last, as I was checking, they were also waiting for that date of announcement too. All right, guys, so I hope you got something out of this video and learn a little something about the Wilder World NFTs. Those rewards look kind of crazy out there, and there are a lot coming down the line. Now, hopefully we get a little bit more information on those as time will pass. But all of this at the end of the day was just my opinion, so this is where I would like to know your opinion on what you thought about the project and whether or not you're thinking about getting NFTs. Leave those comments down below. I'm pretty active in the community, and I would love to know what your thoughts are on this, or if you had any questions around the process, I'd be more than happy to walk you through it or point you in whatever direction I can. Again, this project has so many assets out there that it sometimes can be hard to navigate, but I'm here to help in any way I can. And this is the part of the video where if you did get any value out of this or were entertained, then it really does help the channel if you like and or subscribe, but only if you would like to. I always like to wrap up the end of my videos with my little disclaimer that, remember guys, this isn't financial advice, it's just an opinion. I'll see you in the next video.